Today, we're gonna take the Mustang for the first drive ever since it's been wrecked. I'm Sean.
I'm Jill.
Wish us luck. Like I said, today is the first time we're actually gonna take this for basically any kind of test drive since we've gotten it. The most we've driven it is from the street to the garage. When the tow truck dropped it off, we pulled it in here. And the reason being is because the whole front end was smashed, all the coolant was out of it, the radiator and everything was destroyed in front. So there was no cooling. Obviously, we weren't gonna drive it very long or drive it very far. Just idled it in here, then idled it back out, and then idled it back in. That's pretty much the limit of what it's been able to do. Now that we have everything back, we've changed the radiator as well as the transmission cooler, the oil in it, the transmission fluid, as well as the differential fluid. What we want to do is we want to drive it up and down the street a couple times max, not go over the speed limit, obviously 20, 25 miles an hour max, and then bring it back here and see if there's any leaks. The last thing I want to do is take this on the road out away from my house and have something happen. I'm only willing to drive it as far as I'm willing to push it back if something's wrong. So I don't want to push it very far, which means I'm going to go down the street, turn around, come back. We will videotape everything. She'll have a camera. I have a couple cameras inside and talk to you about some of the things I'm looking at when I do it. In fact, I don't think we've gotten it above maybe 5 miles an hour. So I don't know if the suspension is pulling one side. So this will give us a good reference on what else might be wrong. So far, driving it or running it, we haven't had any lights.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. No warning or anything like that. Now, this doesn't have a front bumper on it, so it will look kind of silly. Front bumper's here, which is a whole different story. You'll have to watch the interesting story about the front bumper next video. That'll come Wednesday. You might want to tune in for that, because this front bumper came in a box.
And we'll leave it at that.
Extremely small box.
And we'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. You'll have to look at the next video. Now let's go ahead and get this bumper off of it, and then we will open up the door and then pull it out and take it for a test drive. Hopefully, wish us luck again. Okay. Okay, we'll see you there. You guys can hear me. This is be the first time we've actually driven it. So far, no lights. I have a seatbelt light, obviously. I don't have the seatbelt on right now. Everything looks good. Temperature and everything like that looked good. So we will see. And the reason we want to do this, because we want to make sure that everything, while it's under pressure, doesn't actually leak or anything like that. So I'll drive it once around the block. Again, only as far as I want to push it, because if this thing does break down, I don't want to have to go that far. Again, still no lights. Definitely will need alignment. It's pulling to the driver's side real bad. So obviously that'll be something we need to do once we get the car registered. We'll got to change the suspension out anyways. We are going to lift it. We'll get alignment done then. I don't see anything out the back, no smoke. pretty good so far. Other than the alignment, really bad. Now, this did have it hit something on the passenger side front, so that whole side was damaged. It didn't hit the suspension or anything like that, though that wheel did have damage on the inside as well as it was flat. So I suspect whatever it hit did damage the wheel a little bit. We will be getting all new wheels for this. Again, when we get it lifted and the wider fenders on it, we will do a full different wheel setup. A little bit more. Since I'm on the home stretch, I will go up to 25. Let's see. Not too bad. Again, no major malfunctions with it, no issues.
What color are you going to keep it?
Get everything addressed and looked at. Okay. Okay, we'll see you in the garage. Okay, the first drive of the Mustang was actually pretty good. It was a success for the most part. Now, there was a few things, no major catastrophe or anything like that. We didn't have any oil leaks. In fact, we let this sit, and I just checked today thoroughly underneath, and there is no leaks whatsoever. So that means the oil, transmission, differential, radiator, all the connections like that are all good. There was some when we had it running, testing it in there. We fixed the ones on the radiator, and they're now tight. They're not leaking at all. Even driving around, didn't drive it around for very long, didn't get it like overheated or anything like that. Checking the gauges, which was one of the issues. The gauges are really hard to see in this car, not because I'm blind. I am blind fairly, but I couldn't see like the labels or the gauges themselves. There's some kind of glare that was coming in through the window, as well as the fact that it is kind of tinted glass over the gauges themselves. I did have to turn on the light, and it still was hard to see the background lights.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was talking to her about is that it was pulling to the left, pretty bad. It might be the fact that this tire is flat now, or not flat, but was going flat. Now it's actually flat, but it was going flat. In the video, I talked about one of the wheels being damaged. I guess it was damaged enough where it wasn't keeping a good seal, and it is slowly leaking out. It is not a fast leak. It literally took like 48 hours, and it was fairly flat. Right now, it still has a little bit of air. It's not sitting straight on the rim, but that means we have to get a new rim, at least one. Now, we do plan on getting a full different set of rims and tires for it. I just don't want to do it now because I don't know the offset with the fender flares and everything like that. So we'll end up getting just a spare wheel for it, replacing this one, and then go driving around. That way we can at least get some kind of idea of how the vehicle's going. It'll also get us to be able to get it registered. Now, the only bad thing is I have to find one of those wheels. I'm sure there's places out there we can look around and find it. That's not too much. But other than that, it's a success. Next time she'll drive it, and I'll sit on the bucket. Okay, hope you guys like this. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you next video. Next video she'll be doing most of the work. It's where we get the bumper. Bye.
Bye.